GenC podcast. Welcome to the GenC podcast. I'm your co-host JP Jackson. To my far right is Mr. Rizan Rose. And in the middle we have...
Am I supposed to say my own name?
I was just so like, huh?
I'm Carla Lindt. Chocolates.
So do you have like a favorite Lindt chocolate?
My favorite flavor. Oh, yeah.
It was the red one. But
So the normal.
so it changed to the salted
Okay.
caramel one.
Mm.
Those color one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're literally wearing the Lindt for color.
I'm representing.
Represent.
Do you like, sorry, before we start all the festivities, do you guys fuck with sea salt caramel?
I actually do.
Okay,
I do. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know, you must say that you like stuff neat. Man says he likes stuff neat. Coffee without milk and sugar.
No,
Whiskey
with milk,
neat.
Yeah, without sugar, but with milk. Yes.
Okay.
And whiskey neat, yeah. 2 blocks of ice. Mm.
Okay.
If anyone was asking.
2 blocks of ice and the ice has been broken. So question 2, Carla Lindt. The question that our viewers want to know, who is Carla?
Now that is something that I don't even know. like whenever people ask me, who are you?
For 10 marks.
10 marks, I'll probably get 1 out of 10 because what do you say?
1 out of 10 out of your own life.
Not that. Like,
So where did you grow up, Carla?
okay, so I was born in Lavender Hill.
Mhm.
I think it was at, is it now one of the hospitals there? Retreat Hospital or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm the only girl out of 4 brothers.
You.
So I'm the baby.
Okay.
And I think that is the reason why my aunt took me in.
Mhm.
And then I was raised in Mitchell's Plain from about a baby or about 2 years old. I'm unsure about that. So I was born in Lavender, but then I was raised in Mitchell's Plain. So for all my life, I'm from Mitchell's Plain.
From
and
the
I,
Republic.
The Republic of Mitchell.
Judgerag. Yeah, so I'm funny plain actually.
Put me on my
Nah, he's actually an ally. As someone from the river of Alsace,
Oh.
I do not subscribe to the Mitchell. I like some people from Mitchell's Plain. I'm not really
at liberty.
I can certain individuals.
Rizan is clinging onto his colored pass by clips.
Like, this episode is still young. I don't want to ruin the episode early. But okay, yeah. So what was your you gave us an Easter egg there, if you wanted sort of get into that. So your auntie took you away. Are your parents around? Are they...
Look, my mom passed away, but I was living with my aunt while my mom was alive.
Okay.
So my mom only passed away when I was in high school. My father is around, you know how the colored culture is. Like, dad is there, but dad is not there. So, I've been visiting them, like, while staying with my aunt. But I think she took me out of that environment, man.
Okay.
Like, before, it's almost like she knew what would happen before it even happened, you know? And I mean, if I had to live there, I don't think I would have studied further or been what I've become or whatever. And I don't want to be Judgerag. However, I think I would have been a victim of that society.
that
there.
circumstances.
Yes. And I would have probably been on drugs. Like,
Okay.
you know, if I had to be there because it was so... When I visited on weekends, my mother, I was free, man. And my aunt had all these rules. Like, I'd be grounded or I'd have to be in at a certain time. And I always wanted to go to my mom. Because I know, hey, can play outside late, yo. 9 o'clock, I'm still outside.
Okay,
You see, so I think there was a reason.
You're big dub for rules.
Definitely.
Big dub for rules.
Ah.
There's a saying that says like, it goes like, if you don't raise your kids, you're gonna have to raise your grandkids. Something like that. Yeah, if you spoil your children, you're gonna have to raise your grandchildren. So if you raise your children right, you get to spoil your grandchildren. It's like a deal. So shout out, like, so is your aunt still around?
No.
Okay.
She passed away in the beginning of the year due to cancer, and then when she passed, I moved out immediately the following week.
Okay, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
And it's so crazy because my eldest brother is also adopted and he's also my cousin, like biologically. But same scenario. My dad and my mother took him from a place where it wasn't healthy for him.
Yeah.
And he was then able to broaden his perspective on life. And thank goodness he's having a great
I'm actually high-key emotional now.
No, but it's so great that you mentioned taken out of the circumstance, because sometimes we put so much like pressure on the person when we actually don't realize it's the elements around the person that makes them what they are.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
Yeah.
And even though she's not here, I really want to take this opportunity to thank you, Auntie.
Shout out.
Because I mean, opening that perspective for someone, like you said, didn't know at that time that is what she was doing. Yeah. And now you out here thriving.
Oh, yeah. Man is a
How do you know? How do you know?
You were going She wanted everyone to know that when she moved to Gordon's Bay. Oh, yeah.
The real location shall not be known. Comment down below where you think Gordon's Bay is. So where did you go to school?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Hyacinth Primary School in Lavender Hill. Okay. My aunt taught at that school, and I think that is why she was so strict, because she was the teacher.
Okay.
And then high school, I was at Mondale High School, also in Mitchell's Plain. But now let me give you a background, man.
Please.
I did not want to go to Mondale High School.
Okay, why?
Because it is labeled as the Sturvy School. And I come from Beacon Valley in Mitchell's Plain.
Okay.
They should gun. No? They should gun. I didn't want to go to Mondale with Sturvy. And I cried. Send me to Portland High, because my train is going to Portland High. Send me to other school. No, she wanted me to go to Mondale. And you know what? I don't actually regret going to Mondale.
So you like being a Sturvy girl?
I was not there. We need to get into that, because I was not a Sturvy girl on Mondale.
So
you know, I think
So you were the only non-Sturvy girl out of all the Sturvy girls
what
in
do you
Mondale.
say?
Because my thing is now, so it's like that, you know, like when you enter space now, it's not that. So like you know that there's been the Sturvy School forever, but now that you part of the school, now it's someone not
So
Sturvy.
my question would have been, what makes the school Sturvy, man? Like what?
Yeah.
And also, wasn't there another school? Is it Spine Road High? Isn't that the other one?
They're like rivals.
Yes.
Yeah. I won't say I didn't make the school stuff. Like I came there with my energy. No, there were other people. Like, you know, but I think people said it's Sturvy because of the way the school is managed, man. It's also strict.
Okay.
So that is the thing there. But I was not one of them Sturvy girls. Like, could never be me. Like, I come from Lavender Hill and Beacon Valley. Like, and I feel like that is also how everything came into play, like with my studies and all of that, because of going to the Sturvy School.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to, it's almost like I wanted to show that I'm not going to be what people are saying the school is. Like, I'm going to come as me.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to come as me. And because it is an English medium school,
Okay.
that is where it started. I wanted to speak Afrikaans to those kids. Like, I wanted to speak Afrikaans to them. Like, you're coming out there English. Yay. Like, so that is how it all started, I think. Yeah.
So where did the love for the Afrikaans language start?
You know,
because you now went to this English school.
Yes.
And trying to face all the English people that this is what Afrikaans is.
So I had a Nena, she lived in the next road. And she went to an Afrikaans school in Mitchells Plain, Oval North. I'll never forget. Now, because I'm English speaking and she's Afrikaans, like, I would learn from her. And I would also want to speak the language that she's speaking. And one day, man, she asked me, what's the time or something like that. And I said, it's 1 o'clock. And she made fun of me, like, and just said, nee, jy praat nie reggie, en jy kan nie Afrikaans praat nie. And I think it was from there. Because she told me that I can't speak Afrikaans and I don't sound right.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, jy sê nie van my nie.
But Afrikaans time is funny, eh? Because like half 2 is like
Yes.
opposite
yes.
one,
I
and
don't
that
even
like
use that.
like that connection, and then you.
What do you say for what's it, apostrophe? What is
I will say 3:30. Because there's 2 ways that you can say it. You can say 3:30 and 3:30.
Okay.
Now, I don't like the half part.
Okay.
Just give me the 30.
Is the 3:30? What is that? Is that like a?
Skit. Don't know.
Actually, like my question is, who uses that term? Is that more like colloquially spoken, or is that like because officially it's obviously 3:30?
I think people that is actually Afrikaans huisstyle that will use those terms, or maybe in a professional sense. Because I would never. Like,
because the time is the time. You can hear.
That's it.
So because you like end up doing that like math meme when you try to speak about figuring out what the time is and where you're gonna land.
So I grew up in Elsis River, and but I went to Kurut School, Belleville School, Belleville University. Oh, Bella. Shout out DWC. And my Afrikaans is like it's straight mingles. Like there's just what's it, Minglish. Or I sound hella Sturvy. Like you didn't know I said 3:30 and I couldn't help myself. I couldn't. This was a test, man. How do you say Lekkers? How do you say sweets in Afrikaans?
Oh my God.
Do you say lekkers? Lekkers
Or lekkers.
That's the test. That's the test. If you say lekkers, you are poor.
Never heard anyone say lekkers.
Because you're not exposed. So that's like white people. That's
Early in the day.
And that's also like, I guess, plaasenaars, if you will. And then I guess like in between colored people say lekkers. And then there's lekkers.
But there's like in one of our earlier episodes, we also spoke about code switching and all. But then there's also like Afrikaans switching. Because when I speak to a Peggy, I speak differently to when I speak to Oom Jacobus. Like, it's just
a Beggie. A vagrant or a homeless person. Often someone who's scuttling. We must kind people translate. We have some American viewers there.
So, Carla, you then went to UWC.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
So initially, I wanted to study education. Okay. Look, at that point in high school, I didn't know what I want to study or become one day. Even now, I don't know. Like, so every year I would change what I wanted to do. Like,
no, but even now I don't know.
You all felt that. You
the train, man.
That one.
So, like, in grade 10, I wanted to be a physiotherapist. In 11, I wanted to be a lawyer. And then, I don't know, like, so I didn't get in for B.Ed. You know? I was devastated. And my second choice was B. I thought, I can't even draw. I'm not artistic. What is arts? Like, Bachelor of Arts. Like, I can't draw.
I can't draw, so I can't do a Bachelor of Arts.
No. I was just like, what am I going to do here? And when it came to the subject choices, I chose stuff that I was familiar with in school. And I had English and Afrikaans, and then you had to drop one module when you go to second year.
So what was the overarching degree?
Bachelor of Arts.
BA.
Yes, BA. So I dropped English because I wasn't so competent in English, man. And Afrikaans just felt like it's not the same as it is in school. It was more interesting for me. And yeah, and I've been doing Afrikaans ever since. And you know why I am still in the department is because I came as myself and they didn't judge me. Like with the lickers story. Like, just to bring that in.
Yeah.
I wasn't told, jy praat verkeerd, or jy praat nie reggie. They told me that is actually a variety of Afrikaans. It's called caps. Not mingled, not mixed, not
Gam.
not gam, please. It's not called gam. It's called caps. There's actually a term to it, right? And they felt like I actually belong there because I can speak the way I speak and I'm not being judged at all. And they understand me. Like, if I'm going to put an English word into the Afrikaans sentence, that is part of it.
Yeah.
Like, that is another English word. I think it's a verskynsel. That is part of the caps.
When you put an English word, you throw it in there.
Yeah.
So a lot of languages must do. I mean, wow, English stole from all the languages. So
coming for capitalism.
Sorry, wait quickly. I just realized now the word for calendar in Afrikaans is most almanac, man, or calendar.
Yes.
Do you know? Because I'm Muslim, man. When I saw the word is almanac, I was like, am I reading Arabic? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What's the date?
What's the date?
Doesn't
So you say you were sebagai Juma in Afrikaans class?
Like, I was like, yo, when's your birthday? Go check the almanac. Ignorance is bliss.
So then you found out within the Afrikaans department. And you then flesh out what is Afrikaans and our place in Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And is that what you're studying now?
I'm actually studying, I am doing the Afrikaans
You're doing your postgrad, no?
Yes, I'm doing my master's now in Afrikaans. I'm supposed to finish now.
They don't need to know that.
So, I'm actually looking at the way Afrikaans speaking learners write the way they speak. So that is what I'm investigating. Like the influence of caps on their writing. Because they, like children in, like Mitchell's Plain, Lavender Hill, for example, they don't know that they're not supposed to write that way. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, they thinking it's natural, but then the teacher come and tell them, it's wrong. You know? So they're writing the way they speak.
Yeah.
And because the teacher is telling them that it's wrong, they thinking the way I speak is wrong.
Okay.
But they actually need to just be taught that for this context, caps is okay to speak to your peers or whatever. And then in the school context, the use of caps is actually not regarded maybe for formal writing, maybe for creative schrijven or whatever. Or maybe it can be in mondeling, but don't tell them that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because then it's going to affect their identity. Like, they're not going to want to be able to speak, you know?
Call us speak. Because it made me think of, because I did Xhosa for 5 years at high school. And mother tongue Xhosa speakers, because they don't have the pronoun he, she, they will refer to like you as a he or you as a she, like that. And it's like, because they don't have that, they don't, and so the English is the problem. Like the lens with which we view these sort of writings, whatever the case may be, is because also in Arabic, for example, we don't write. Is it right to left? No, we read from left to right in Arabic. it's Bismillahirrahmanirrahim this way, because you normally. Oh, wait,
Are you reading right to left?
Other way, yes. Sorry, yes.
It's other way
Other way,
around.
so, yes.
Other
So
way around.
English is left to right. Arabic
Yes.
is right to left. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So,
So
Arabic.
you reading-
Waterslams actually.
I just got it mixed. A waterslams. A Muslim person that can swim. It's about like I'm not a waterslams. You tell them.
It's interesting that you say the root of it in terms of them identifying with the language, because I mean, my first year I did Afrikaans home language, and all our poems were of the Kaapse dialect. It was always written by the way it was written, but again, within that context, it was almost like praise. Like, this is a great poem with great context. This is how it's meant to be written. But if you use those words in, like you say, an essay, then you would have gotten low marks. And it's so cool that you're looking at it from the source, because that is how they speak when they grow up. That's how they speak when they play in the road. And now you go to school and you say, this isn't your language.
You see, I was actually an educator at Mondale. I taught there for like 15 months. And I taught Afrikaans, and I was actually confronted with essays, with work where students write the way they speak. And I think that is where my problem formed, actually, for me to actually go further my study and investigate the root of it. Why is it happening this way? What can we do about it to help the child, you know? And to, I don't know the English
Sorry,
word.
can I ask? When we say, especially in Afrikaans, that they write the way that they speak, are you saying that like the spelling of the words?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, techie.
And like that could be the root of them not learning further, because they, at the very source of understanding it, they cut off.
Yes.
This is not how it's said.
Like,
Type
instead
of
of saying deep boom, they will say boom.
Well,
You
but
know?
there's
Yes.
also other boom that shouldn't be.
Bism.
There you go.
Yeah, one of my favorites is like spelling the word 14 in Afrikaans. That's always that's a minus. That's a minus. What I wanted to say is like, like it's one of those where, because you see, I'm techie, man. I'm super techie. Like where they do penalize you for writing like organizations, like with the Z, the almost like the American spelling and stuff like that. And you know, look, I think I do see it. I do, like, because we're not allowed to use the American English. They didn't like just teach us the South African English.
Like we said, the problem is English. The problem is English.
No problem. I'm just thinking now. Okay. Oh, now I'm with it.
Oh, you're
now.
with it now. Is the painting
That way must we don't say giftig is giftig. There's a vannacht. I'm just thinking now. That's because I must. Oh, it's either richtig of rarig.
Rera?
Sorry.
It's like, I've never heard your white Afrikaans in my life. She doesn't interact with it at all.
No.
Allow me, man. My mommy, I always use shame. Someone actually confronted me and said, "Bring your ma for a joke."
So people first say sorry because
No, it's not actually a bio.
Oh,
It's not
okay,
a bio.
okay.
It's not a bio. So my mommy's Afrikaans is like suiwer, like lekker quality.
Ek die blou van ons.
Yes, exactly. to the extent where, like, back in the years gone by, in the apartheid era, Army worked for, like, I think the courts, the magistrate here in Bellville, whatever. Anyway, so then she would be like the person
lady.
answering the phone, yeah. And then when they see her, it's like, oh no, it's not slechts blankes. Mommy always sound like a caucus on the phone. Mommy always like the Afrikaans is coming with quality. Mommy grew up in District 6. My mommy also has like a commitment to just like, even though she speaks English, so she speaks Arabic, because my mommy like has it's actually more than 8 years now. I think it's 8 years studied Arabic, but it's like been years now of using it also. Miss Arabic is also like, I don't know. She's also like likes things neat.
Yeah. Quality.
So I guess I'm a bit like influenced a little because of my family. Obviously my mommy's family is all Afrikaans speaking. Then my siblings, my eldest brother, he grew up Afrikaans. So he can speak like Afrikaans. Then my next brother, Yasin, he can speak like Afrikaans. Myself and Muntas. And myself and La also had this problem where both your parents are Afrikaans speaking, but they're raising in English. Now you can't speak any of the languages, my bro. You can't speak English properly and you can't speak Afrikaans properly. And then you get my daddy. So now I'm gonna violate my daddy.
You know what he say? The mommy is first.
So first of all, my daddy's like the nicest person. Like honestly, my daddy's a lovely person.
He's not starting out with he's coming with
Yeah.
So my daddy's from KZN, man. And so I was honestly like, no lies, I was 2 years old when I realized my daddy speaks with an accent, man. Because my daddy just sounds like my daddy. Nah, my daddy sounds like a Durbanite. And I'm like, really? Wait, what? That's the first and foremost. My daddy's Afrikaans is horrendous, my bro. My daddy, yo, I was gonna say something mental. My daddy vet sound like that nearbus with my slani. My daddy sound like that. That's my daddy's Afrikaans. But at the same time, I can't violate my daddy because my daddy can speak Zulu, can understand Xhosa, can understand Gujarati.
What's Gujarati?
It's an Indian it's a language.
Okay.
My daddy can understand so many different languages, and I think like the takeaway there is like English is the problem.
So it's like I never learned Xhosa, but my brother was same thing, split. My brother was taught Afrikaans when he was younger, and then had to go to an English high school because my daddy said he didn't want to learn the bio terms because that was that long in Afrikaans. Anyway, so but with my brother, because he spoke for Afrikaans so long, when he speaks Afrikaans now, he prays.
Okay.
So he has an accent. So to speak. No, Javan.
Oh.
So but it comes particularly out after a few neat drinks. then the page just comes out.
But you know why I think that happens now? It's because that is actually a thing in Afrikaans, man. In English, the R is like soft.
Rah, rah, rah.
Like the.
Roll.
Yeah.
The. But in Afrikaans, it's like a hard sound. Dar. Like that roll of the R. So I think that is when people speak when people speak Afrikaans, no?
That was the R.
Oh, wait. The earthquake. I'm shook, man. Like, and everyone else I must be familiar with gunshots, but it's still jarring, man. Yes, Salam. Yes.
I forgot that.
You're
rolling
saying the rolling of the R
R
is soft in English and a bit
Yeah,
harsh.
it's hard in Afrikaans, and I think when
That's so
English,
true.
when English speaking people try to speak Afrikaans, they tend to still soften that R, like the R, say that, leave the R, just leave the R.
I have a good one. So my brother and my cousin Leroy and Yasin, they are like the same year, whatever. They're like probably a month or so apart, man. They used to like argue. My grandma used to watch them. Nee is dwywe. No, tell him, Oma, it's gwipes. Gwipes and dwywe. Because you you made me think of the softening of the R, man. Because they and obviously now it's obviously none of the above.
Yeah. But to them, it's a life
the waiver, because they're saying it that like.
So, Carla, one thing we like to do on the show is like give you almost like a translation. Almost like if this is the English word, how would you say it in Afrikaans?
Okay.
And since we have your expertise in the room, I think it would be great that we just give you like one or two or a few words.
Okay.
And then you give us not the lekker version.
Okay.
Just how would we say it if we approach it? If you approach it. So how would you say hello?
How would I say hello? I think I'd say hello. Away. Away. I won't say away though. But I'll be hi.
No.
You know?
So you saying like colored people don't have a specific hello?
No.
Yeah.
I think, the gang members will be like, salute. Like that is their hello. Other people be like, away. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because it's giving that, the listening, the hearing the word hello now is like, hello has so many different meanings. Hello is most now hi, as in a greeting. It's also like, hello? As in like, what did you just say? Hello?
Oh, when your mommy come home, hello?
That's the one! What is the meaning of that hello? That hello is different.
I think that hello means. Like, wat gaat hier aan? I think that is it.
What is the translation of no? Like, how do we say no?
Like the opposite of yes, kind of no.
Yeah.
Look, it's supposed to be near, but nee? Nee?
Oh, nine? Which is so like dangerous for us because we always spell that one different.
Yeah.
Yes, that na is with one A.
Isn't that too so?
That's double A.
Needle and thread.
A needle pulling thread. To go. Wow, how do we say that?
To go.
To Afrikaans, yeah.
Gat.
Gat.
Ik ga dan toe. Gat.
Wow. So gat is not a hole.
No, gat. It's supposed to be gaan, but we, it can be gaan with one A actually, but gat sounds like, ek gaan gaan toe. Gat gou winkel toe.
Facts.
Gat gou winkel toe.
Actually, yes.
I only heard the rek jou gat. That's the only way I could. There was no gutting there though.
But you're from Goodwood, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes with trek jou gesig weg.
See, the northern, I don't think the northern suburbs and the southern suburbs Cape Flats has the same effect, man. Like Afrikaans, like they come with like rigorous giving biggest boss, like
That's immaculate.
So
I'm the biggest boss right now.
Like in like in certain recipe books, man, there's that one biscuit where it's pink and brown on and it has klappe underneath. That twee gesiggies. But the people know as twee gefrietjies. And it's just like, it's such like it's that's the name, man. That's the valid name. It's twee gefrietjies, man. Do you know how lekker that is? And I want to actually just go quickly. I want to know, is there a difference between line, maats, kaita?
Same WhatsApp group. I shared a post on Facebook. I made it public. When last
from Gordon's Bay.
Yes. When last did you hear the word kaita? When last did you hear that word? Like, I don't hear people say that word anymore. Kom eens kaita.
Why am I sweating? It's the lights. All of the lights.
Like, I never heard that word in a while. Kaita.
That's because you're in Gordon's Bay, man.
Now that's for me.
Yeah. It's just because my people have different to see.
I remember in high school when we used to like leave an area, people just like come in line maybe or come in gate and then it morphed to let us fuck off. Like, language is so fun. Afrikaans is the most expressive language. It's honestly I wish I knew it better. I honestly wish I was more comfortable with Afrikaans.
And you know, whenever people scale, it's in Afrikaans. Don't have it same effect in English. And the swear words compared to the English swear words, it don't have the same effect.
Don't have the same oomph.
Don't have the same kracht.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I think we are ready for our game in the bowl. So Carla has given us an opportunity to re-explain this. So for all the new subscribers, in this bowl, we have a series of hypothetical questions, and this game is called Say Manau. JP has
Take it away.
JP's gonna lead us in. Say Manau, say Manau.
Say now, you went to prison. What would the crime be?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I almost said it.
I wasn't ready for.
I was ready.
For Johnny
I've been ready for this.
Okay. I'm ready. Yes, go for it. I was gonna say like when you said same when I go to prison, I was like, nobody move.
Oh,
On the floor.
I've been ready for this one.
Okay.
I will come with the murder.
Okay, whoa.
Why did you say that with so much
Like,
confidence?
Because but anyway, but I feel like that might be because everyone has a bit of killer instinct in them. You know?
Everyone.
Like everyone. Because
warrior gene.
Everyone is giving Jeff to me at this point. Jeffrey. Everyone is giving Jeff. And like
You heard it here first.
So everyone has a killer instinct.
You heard it here first.
everyone
guys.
has. Like just to like I don't know if you all used to watch the series now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the first incident where you just hit the guy over the head, that wasn't intentional to kill that person. You know what I'm saying?
Steve
So
intake.
the two of
Let's
us
go.
could be in an argument. You the roll my car. Nah, actually no. Something just happens. You know? Something now, just mug over your head.
To roll my car is to have a bit of a fight.
An argy-bargy.
Always. A hustle and bustle, if you will. You say it's an accident gone wrong, you say.
Yeah,
But
so-
then that activated it.
So
Yeah.
this is like second degree murder, man.
Yeah,
You know,
so
those are
that'll be
culpable homicide.
Culpable. Yo. I was thinking my friend and I always say that. Culpable. Just something I was saying.
What does it mean to you? Sorry, what does it mean to you?
Look,
No, don't have to give the actual
yeah, I
definition.
do.
How
No,
your
I wanna,
friends use it.
within context.
There we go. Tell us.
Someone in our family passed away, man, and my uncle said it's culpable homicide. But he didn't say culpable, he said that's culpable homicide. So we would be like, you're culpable? Everything is culpable to us.
Shout out to all the uncles that say militant. Stellenbosch interior. Shout out to all of you. Yo, I would 100% go to jail for illegal downloads. I'm not even gonna lie. It's music. It's movie.
MP3
series. Come fix that hard drive for me. Yo, my bro. Skat, I must get a VPN, man. Track my IP.
Now what? My answer sounds so harsh compared to his. Like,
No.
I won't come at the murder.
No,
like,
yours was actually realistic. Yours was
Okay.
culpable homicide realistic. And mine is also valid. JP, do you have
I
a
think I'll just probably
tax
give-
evasion?
Yeah. we don't know where the bodies are
Oh
buried at
my
this
goodness.
stage. So whether this is true or not,
Apparently in America, tax evasion and like murder one and I think like rape or something is the same like
same bracket, yeah.
the same, yeah.
Yeah. But they have more.
Did you say twins? Hoe jene?
Your crime is too vanilla for this
Oh,
part.
yeah,
apparently. No, I was saying, but they have greater wealth to distribute. So
Yes.
that's why it's of the same bracket.
Look, in our country, same. But like the corruption in our country is...
Yeah, because remember the consequence only comes 10 years off. Then you already have lived.
Just
Lived through.
for the people at home, if you had to go to the monks, you just think at the monk. What crime would you commit? To Mang. To lose in Super Mario.
Yo, I remember those days.
There's a movie coming out now, a Super Mario movie. Well, not now, but it's coming out like a... Okay, say now. We had a life expectancy of 300 years. Shoo. What would your life be like? Yo.
Sure. I just heard 300.
Yo.
This is Sparta!
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. No thanks.
Yeah.
Giving vampire? What?
Oh God, it's so funny.
God. You say you're gonna be sparkling there in the sun.
Originals, you say Vampire Diaries.
No, must me with that.
I'm saying like it's too long, maybe. Like I'll go like live in Highbury or something, but the retirement people there, but I love them by calling Gordon's
In Gordon's Bay.
Okay, but wait.
Okay.
So we let's imagine the hypothetical is that maybe our childhood is lengthened or our imagine you 60 older
stages would be-
teenager.
Yeah.
Imagine like
It also would be a great opportunity to savor moments, right? Because life moves so quickly, we end up feeling like we have to rush through everything. We have to move through this phase because that's the next one. When you have so much time, it's as almost you can live an entire life in a phase. Like you can be a toddler for 20, 50 years.
I
You
don't know if you watched-
can cry until you're 80 because it's acceptable.
toxic masculinity. Bruv. I don't know if you watched that.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. But I
That movie, Old Man. The movie's name is
M. Night
Old.
Shyamalan, where
Where they're
people
on the beach,
they age backwards.
And then they age so quickly.
Oh, sorry, age quickly. Sorry.
They age like within a day, like, damn, scary.
That's hectic.
That is scary.
That's hectic, yeah.
Like,
But what would you do if you had to live that long?
Wait, the quick day or the 300?
Sorry, the 300 days.
Okay, because the
What would
quick
I
day,
do?
I'm eating like I'm gonna eat as much as I can, just to experience all the different diets in there. Oh,
you
wait.
know what I do? I would lay and do nothing. That's what I would do. Like, I would slam it like 300 years. I don't have to do my masters now. I still have 200 years to go. Like, I'll just slam it you know? That's what I will do.
Actually, that's deep, because then like, are you taking out the 100-year bond on your house? Your installment is Catholic. 50 rand a month. Yo, the insurance is cut. Yo, that's yo.
We'll get there.
Yo, that's actually that's quite. That's
Carla, do you want to take a statement of us?
please,
I
man.
would love to.
Please start it off with say man now.
Oh, say my now. You could start a secret society. What would your mission be? And who would be the members?
So secret society like the Illuminati. And no, that's what it is, like the Freemasons and stuff like that. So
Mine
what
would
did
probably be
can I
the
see the
Just
question?
Yes,
30.
you may.
The Just 30. So what would the mission be? Yo, like what is the Illuminati's mission? Yo.
Yeah.
What is the shoe?
Yo, to some degree, I'm already part of a secret society.
Okay.
I mean, we are part of an
Is it a
exclusive.
secret? Is it a secret?
It's a
Can you tell
secret,
us?
unfortunately.
Oh.
You can
Oh,
just
wow.
look at my eyes. It's the signals.
Okay, now but tell us.
Okay, yeah. That's, I think my secret society would be so bad at being secret. It's it's like Fight Club, but everyone
Oh,
will know.
because you're so excited, man. I have friends. and we meet on a Tuesday.
Our mission would be to expose all the other secret societies.
Oh.
Because all our members can't keep a secret in the secret.
The infiltrators.
The infiltrators. So they'll move across the groups.
Oh, okay.
That's what has me thinking.
No, it's a deep one. It's
A
a common one.
secret society.
Mm.
I like Mission Impossible. So, put me in one of those societies. I want to be an assassin.
Okay.
That must be my mission.
Why is
What type of people are we assassinating?
Wait.
Like
Why
leaders?
is all your roles just killing people?
Go,
bruh?
so. They took her out of Lavender Hill, but they didn't take the Lavender Hill out of her.
You see, it's still in me. I feel like I just want to be one of those, man.
Who are you assassinating? Sorry.
Yeah. What type of people are you assassinating? Just presidents, just...
No, I haven't thought about that.
Okay.
Actually. It's just that is my
Okay.
secret society. Didn't think that far, which is actually a good thing. Which means I'm not gonna carry out.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna carry out.
It would be nice just to be Carla Lindt.
Now that.
Secret agent, secret
Now that.
sister.
No, they won't even know I am.
You have different
It's
aliases.
giving double O. Like
Double O.
double O.
Oh my goodness.
I'm picturing all the bombs in Lent stores. Home bases, bruh.
We call that store in Waterfront where you can like...
Mm-hmm.
They have like that secret offices there.
Yeah. Double O, huh?
Yo, okay. I don't actually have like a sorry to break the vibe here. Cause I can't think of one. So I'm sorry. But yeah, like if you have a couple ideas.
Oh, you do want to do one more before we go to
wait for
callers?
No?
Say now.
Yes, please.
You have won an Oscar as a leading character. What is the role? What are you playing?
Shoo.
The dark Muslim stunt to speak.
Nice. So apparently, I look a bit like Tupac, man.
Wow.
and they said on a TikTok live that he's Tupac and I'm Suge Nash.
Oh, she was both in that movie. The real story of Tupac. That'll be sick because there must biopics almost like coming through nowadays. The Elvis movie and stuff like that. Like the rise of Tupac. That'll be sick. Because All Eyes on Me, the movie wasn't so
Hot take.
Also apparently look a bit like Emo Adams. But not, okay. Wait. Not Emo Adams. Lookie from Kinders van die 6 and Douchi.
You actually haven't called him like his nickname once.
Rose Petal.
Please explain why you call him Rose Petal.
Rose Petal.
Have you been like keeping it in? I thought it was like on a flow.
Nah, she was having fun.
Yeah. Rose Petal. You know what? I used to actually sit in the cafe holder and play drums on UWC. Sometimes I would bunk class to go sit there. And here comes Rose Petal. No? Playing drums. Oh, this man was gevaarlijk in een stuk, huh? You know? Making...
Kante, huh?
Yeah, that, man. And then somehow I just came... We introduced ourselves to each other and he said, "Hi, I'm Rose." And like, Rose Petal. Like, and since then, ever since, it's Rose Petal. And then one day I asked him, "What's your name?" He said, "It's Razan." I could never. It's Rose Petal. That's Rose Petal.
I could never. So we know Carla's going to be in Mission Impossible. That's going to be the movie that takes her to the start. Because remember, Assassin, Mission Impossible.
However, I will win the Oscar for most dramatic person. I actually got an award like that in high school. And I wasn't even there to collect it.
Did they give you a mini Oscar?
They gave me an A4 at the matric board. Most dramatic person, Carla Lindt.
This is why we friends, man. This is why I like you, man. Because that's
Am I dramatic? Am I the drama? Am I the drama? Like,
Can never be us.
no.
Can never be us. JP?
I would probably be playing the Thing from Fantastic Four.
And you know, Oscar.
And because they can't see me.
You're giving John C. But you can see the thing.
No, but I mean, like, they can't see it's
the-
him, man. Like, the...
John.
Yeah, I really don't like to be.
No, but you must... No. He can... No, he's...
It's giving up.
I'm
Giving
thinking...
up.
No, okay, sorry, yes, you're right. So,
Yeah.
he starts up as a normal scientist and then he becomes the thing
Okay.
and he just stays the thing.
Yes.
Like, I thought it's something that he can, like, turn into, like, the Hulk or whatever. But you're right. Go
Die down.
look at us. Die down.
Die down.
On kyk net.
Die down.
Fantastische vier.
Fantastische
Die
vier.
fucking vier.
Oh, hek.
No.
No, that just becomes a Poikikos
Yo.
competition. The
Yo.
fucking feet.
Yo. So, Carla, we like to end it off by giving you an opportunity to, if you could give a message to your younger self, all these life lessons that you've learned, experiences,
Yeah.
what would your message to your younger self be?
You know, sometimes I think it's difficult to actually give a message to my younger self now. But the main thing I would say is invest in yourself. Like, I'm still learning today how to invest in myself. Like, and not worry what other people say, not worrying about what other people think. Because sometimes you need to be selfish and you need to invest in yourself. Like, some people won't think twice to do you wrong. You know what I mean? They won't think twice to do you wrong. So, rather invest in yourself if it means hurting that person. Not like physically, but to make yourself happy. If hurting them means that you can be happy and invest in yourself, then do it. You know? And another thing is, fuck love. Get that money. That's the other thing.
Destiny God females and
Yeah.
acquire currency.
Yeah.
You're coming out with that English. that Shakespearean. Shakespearean English.
That is the best message to myself I've experienced.
Take it away, Rizan.
Oh, am I? Like, I thought JP's gonna take it away.
Oh, sorry.
Roast it
I don't mind.
Yes.
If you, the viewer, subscribe, have liked this content, please like, share, subscribe, and please don't forget to email us your things for the mailbag, so we can so we can incorporate in the future episode. And we out. Peace.